signed his second papal document since his election. The apostolic letter commemorates the 60th anniversary of the Church's declaration on Catholic education. EWTN Vatican journalist Benedict Sedgren tells us more about the old and new document.
When writing Gravissimum Educationis, the Second Vatican Council's declaration on Catholic education in 1965, Pope St. Paul VI recognized the growing need to form young people not only in knowledge and skill, but in wisdom, virtue, and faith. This formation takes place not only in schools and universities, but also at home, the Pope said, calling the family the first school of social virtues that every society needs. At its core, the declaration underscores that every person has a fundamental right to education, and that the Church should guide and support this formation when it can. 60 years later, the document has not lost its force. Marking both the start of the academic year at Rome's pontifical universities and the opening of the Jubilee of the World of Education, Pope Leo signed a new apostolic letter commemorating the 60th anniversary of the Conciliar Declaration. It is titled Drawing New Maps of Hope. It acknowledges that we live in a complex, fragmented, and digitalized educational environment, and the urgent need to renew the Church's commitment to promoting and providing a Christian integral education. Catholic education has changed over the centuries, the document states, and must continue to evolve to help young people face the challenges of technology and confusion about the meaning and purpose of life. As millions of children still lack access to basic education and educational crises are caused by war, migration, inequality, and poverty, this work is more essential than ever. Education, Pope Leo writes, must serve human dignity, justice, and the common good. The Holy Father also designated St. John Henry Newman as official co-patron saint of education, together with St. Thomas Aquinas, Doctor of the Church, one of the Church's greatest theologians and philosophers, and patron saint of Catholic colleges and universities, teachers, and students. The designation of Newman as co-patron, who will also be proclaimed a Doctor of the Church on November 1st for his teachings and writings of eminent doctrine, underscores once more the Church's right and duty to educate. After all, Pope Leo recalled, education is one of the highest expressions of Christian charity. In Rome, Benedict Sedgren for EWTN News Nightly.
Joining us now from Rome to tell us more about Pope Leo's letter is Frank Rocca, Senior Vatican Analyst for EWTN News. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Veronica. Glad to be here.
The Pope's new letter is based on an older declaration from 1965, but what are some of the new priorities Pope Leo introduces in the document, given the technological advancements in the last half-century?
Well, one big new emphasis, not surprisingly, is the digital world. He says technology and AI are great tools, but they can't replace real relationships, real teachers, community. He also highlights peace. He wants schools to be places where young people learn how to listen, how to reconcile, how to build bridges. And he says that's something that the world really needs right now. And then there's the inner life. He acknowledges how loud and overwhelming life can be today, especially for young people. So he calls for helping them to rediscover silence, reflection, and meaning. So the core mission is the same as the 1965 document, but the Pope is updating it for our contemporary challenges.
Now, in addition to that, what is the significance of naming St. John Henry Newman as co-patron of education alongside St. Thomas Aquinas? What does that hold for Catholic education today, and why was he chosen for this role?
Well, it's a very meaningful choice. I mean, for one thing, Newman was English. And English today is the language of global education. So right away, he's someone who speaks to the international reality of Catholic schools and universities. It's ironic that the Vatican released the document only in Italian, but that's part of the course around here. Newman was also one of the great thinkers of the modern university, a theorist of the university. He's someone who believed that education should form the whole person, not just produce workers. And he argued that faith and reason are not enemies, but actually help each other grow. So pairing Newman with Aquinas sends a clear message that Catholic education aims for intellectual depth and human depth, mind and heart.
The letter speaks about renewing the Church's commitment to a Christian integral education. What does that mean in practice, and how can Catholic institutions live it out in today's world?
Well, it means educating the whole person, not just filling the mind, but shaping the character, compassion, responsibility, and giving a sense of purpose. So for schools and universities, that means focusing on, yes, on academic excellence, absolutely, but also building community, encouraging service, helping students reflect on who they want to be, not just what they want to do for a living. So it's education that prepares people to have a career, but also to have a generous, meaningful, responsible life in a world that's very fragmented and anxious today.
Francis X. Rocca, Senior Vatican Analyst for EWTN. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica.